in Yulee, Florida, wondering, how did I get here? Actually, it's not a mystery at all. So I'm on my way back to my hotel, the Holiday Inn Express. I'll show you I just thought I'd give you some sounds of the Florida road. It is distinctive. You know, it's a windows open culture with you get a lot of you're not getting it right now, but there's just always that, and just, like in the background all night long. Not nonstop. So that's straight ahead, that overpass, if you can kind of see it. The occasional lights, kind of a steady stream of lights. That is the route of 95. The highway, the interstate highway. In Yulee, Florida. It might be like the first exit in Florida if you're coming from the north, and the last if you're leaving Florida. One of the last, anyways. Might be one more. But I'm up here working for a couple days over in Hilliard. I'm the yard guy down in Arcadia, Florida for my company, and kind of do like the inventory. And this is actually our main office, even though it's not any bigger or anything, but they hadn't done inventory. So I had to go in to the Connex and inventory all this crap that had like 5 boxes of the same thing with like one missing from each one, because they just, how I need one of those. What's the first one you come to? The next guy misses that one, whatever. But it's just super annoying because it's all heavy stuff. And I mean heavy, like just imagine the world. I'm not gonna, trying to be without being specific, but think of the heaviest things in that whole thing. They're just heavy. Everything's heavy in the box of 25. And sometimes it's a small box, it's extremely heavy, and it's just brutal. Like basically 2 years of inventory had not been done. So it actually could have been worse. I will say that. But I knew it's just annoying. Nothing earth-shattering. Just annoying. But that's a nice back there, back that way. If we saw it at all. That's a brand new Publix, which I didn't go in. I've got an affinity for Publix's, but I did not go in that one. I was going to go because no doubt being a new Publix, it has an olive bar. And I was going to get some of that. I like those olives with the feta cheese. It's a solid meal. Feels healthy. One of those ones you're eating it's pretty tasty, and you're like, I'm being super healthy right now. I'm eating olives. But then I opted out because I basically have no money until payday on Thursday. So it's nice having a pretty good paycheck steady on every Thursday, but I'm still, after not working for 18 months, I'm still at the point where come Wednesday, I'm basically out of money every week. I have some money in other things, not a lot. So it's not complete destitution, but as far as what my brother told me was a term used in Maryland in the 80s, wham, walking around money. I was going to go for it. No rush. My hotel's back behind there, the McDonald's. As another friend I grew up who tragically died. Wasn't a great friend. I don't know. There was moments, but he was ultimately a tragic figure. But he called it Ratland. McDonald's. And I just always liked it. I still do it. Just funny. And I like when people get annoyed. What do you call it that for? And you're eating it. You'll be all right. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Hello out there. Sorry, I can't really read what's on my phone. And when till I put my glasses on, which I kind of do off and on, I see fine except like reading the friggin' phone and shit like that. I guess I'm nearsighted at this point. Probably from the phone. But I'm also in that age range where that happens, so I can't be sure. Could be a combination. Yeah, we didn't get any a little bit. Not really. I'm pushing for it. We're going. We are go. Oh God, look what's coming at me. And look at what I got. I got nothing in front of me. Like I don't have really any protection. I'm gonna go over to the island. That's what you do. You swim to the island. They say that a lot of the islands in the South Pacific and stuff that were sparsely populated, everybody's leaving them. A lot of them. I didn't inquire as why. I don't know. I really don't know at all. I was going to say I don't believe it's from the sea warming, sea rising. But it could be. There are places where that's an issue. But I'll take man. I'm all for believe me, I fill my car every week with empty, which I shouldn't be drinking, Coke and all my plastic bottles I do that with. And till I can bring them to Wawa. That's the only place I know I can recycle them. And I'm talking, I'll have like 40, which is kind of scary. It's almost like 2 or 3 or 4. Look at the cat right there. That's like my boy at home. Not that skinny though. Hey, sweetie. Hey. What's up, buddy? I love cats. I can't deny it. And it's funny because even a strange cat, they'll go run right away from people. And I ain't no cat whisperer. But they will kind of stop. I guess they just know when somebody's genuinely likes them and when they don't. They'll usually stop and look at me like, huh, this guy seems nice. So when I came in today, that's a dirt road right there. A bunch of people live down there, but the FedEx guy just came bombing out of there, fucking dust. Flying. CSX, man. It's a powerful company. When they're involved with anything, like the projects my company works with, they deal with them a lot. Those guys are powerful. Their word is kind of the last word. And that railroad, give them credit, man. Everybody thought it kind of got overtaken. It's still money. Everybody loves the train. Great tune, Los Lobos. It's kind of like that. That could have literally been about 10 million tunes right there. Well, that's it. Yulee, Florida. Just went to the nice new plaza back there. I don't know if I completed that thought, but that shit's brand new. You know, like right over there. They just got a ton of shit in there. $10 house margaritas. I had 2. They weren't very strong because I should be feeling a little more. They weren't that big either, I guess, but those margaritas usually hit me pretty good. For a nice amount of time, you know, like I have 2, even huge ones. And it's just kind of perfect. And I'm not really feeling anything from that. Maybe the slightest bit, not even. If I was, it's gone. Which is why I've begun to speak about it. This was nice. I came up here for just a couple days, kind of open-ended. And I thought I was going to end up... I thought they just had an Airbnb up here with... Thought there was going to be like 4 or 5 other guys, you know, just the nightmare. Just at my age, you're just like, when you find it, even it's a good company, but you're just like, how did I get here? You're just not even, you know, a house with strain, you know, it's a good, like I said, it genuinely, and believe me, when I say it's a good company, I mean, it's a good company. For the way companies are these days, this is a very good company. The things they do, it's all very good. Oops, there's a guy in that car. This was the open spot, though. That's funny. I kind of heard the car. I thought it was the pickup truck, even though I could see nobody was in the driver's seat. Then it's some douchebag. I believe in that. That's a law in Florida. I guess it isn't anymore. But that you can't fucking have your front windows tinted. How would you feel? And I think all of, even if you hate the cops, can relate to if your job, you pulled somebody over for going fucking 90 miles an hour down the street with kids literally playing on it, and you have to walk up to that car and the windows are tinted. And it's either just the tinted, but, you know, music or smoke or whatever. Come on. You know, it's ridiculous. And it also sucks because say somebody gives you, or you're waving somebody through, or somebody's waved you through and you want to wave back. And I believe in that. That's one thing I'm kind of, if you've met me in person, you're like, I'm pretty, speak my mind pretty, I mean, I think it's good. I like it. And I can talk to anybody. I mean, you're a douchebag. It's gonna be rough, but I really believe, like, when I'm driving, which I guess is weird, and believe me, I flip off way too many people. I've cut it down, but as far as the waving somebody through or by or forward or whatever, you need to wave so that they can see it. And I will relate a story. When I was lucky enough to work in Hawaii back in 2008, I was driving, and it's a lot of traffic, but this was on the windward side over by Waimanalo area. So it was all just locals, but it's that main road that runs up that side. If you go there, it's the one that winds around where Magnum drives his car and goes by the lighthouse. But a guy let me in, like a Hawaiian guy, and my hand was on the steering wheel, and I lifted my hand, like my 3 fingers up, you know, like, hey, you know, and it was over on, but he didn't see it. And he pulled right, and they don't really like white people to start with in tourists, you know, but he pulled there was traffic, dude, and he like screeched up next to me, fucking somebody fucking let you out, you fucking and I'm like, well, I did, but then I was also like, you know what, take your hand off the wheel and put it out the thing and give him a pure shaka, you know. It's the least you can do. It's like the blinker. What do you think the fucking blinker does? Does it do anything like for you as a driver? No, it actually takes your hand off the wheel for a second. it's totally just to see if you're a decent person, you know? Because it's for the people behind you, just to be like, hey, I'm not a douchebag, you know? That's how I look at it at this point. Because that's all it is. It actually, technically, I don't think it does affect most people, but technically, you're taking your hand off the steering wheel to hit that blinker. But anyway, and you do it before you get into like the right lane only lane. I love you get behind these people and they get into that lane and then they're just about to do the actual turn and they put the blinker on. It's like, dude, I don't know. At some point, I know a lot of people, you're like, we got bigger things on our mind. I don't disagree. But it's still at some point of the thousands of right turns you're taking, you're like, hey, that doesn't make sense. What the hell did I do with my friggin' weed? Oh, there we go. So I got a hoodie on, so I got that front pocket. And then I got a sweatshirt over that, so 2 pockets there, and my 2 pockets in my pants. Because only the front ones, I would never put them in the back. If I put it in the back, it's as good as gone. All that goes in the back is maybe if I have gloves, they go in the right back pocket. That's mostly at work, but the handkerchief goes in the left back pocket. Everything else is in the front. So all you pickpocketers, it's free. There's plenty of grass on the backside. That was nice. I didn't even know that was going to happen. It keeps happening. The light keeps blinking. How about that? But that's 95 north, and Georgia's within 10 miles. Probably about 5 miles. In fact, I ate lunch in Georgia today. But where I'm pointing is east. That's due east. And I'm working about, I don't know, it took about almost 45 minutes to get there, but it was like 21 miles. Yeah, so about 21 miles that way. Slightly northwesterly. And then we went to the town of Folkston, Georgia, to the Zaxby's. Just a nice road, though. One of those 2-laners where you can go 65 and there's nobody on it. Nobody lives out here. There's so much open land and all these pine trees that you can't see, but you can see the outline of them. These are all the lodge, I believe they're the lodgepole pines. They grow straight as an arrow, you know. It's like the timber industry. And as you go inland that way, it's more and more and more. You know, and the Okefenokee Swamp is kind of at just about due east of here. And then as you go up, you get into, you know, that's southern Georgia. You got Waycross, Georgia, which is where Graham Parsons is from. The great Graham Parsons. Flying Burrito Brothers. And then he grew up there, and then he moved to, I think his grandfather owned Cypress Gardens in Florida here. And that was a big thing back in the 50s and stuff, when he was growing up. And they ended up, I guess the house is still there, but they gave them land or something. But anyway, that's where he grew up, and he went to prep school here in Florida. And he got to know some people, a lot of people from Lakeland, Florida area that are like, Don Felder is from that area. Graham Parsons kind of came of age in that area. There's a couple other major, there's several, I guess, you know, there's going to be areas like that. Florida's as good a one as any. The Leeden brothers, they're actually from near Gainesville with Tom Petty. And I'll tell you what, man, if you don't know, that just before he died, like Tom Petty was putting out those records with Mudcrutch, which was the band that preceded Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, which had Mike Campbell, but it also had not Bernie Leeden. Bernie Leeden was the one who was in the Burrito Brothers and the Eagles, but his younger brother. Something Leeden. And a different drummer. And Tom Petty played bass. Who was the other guitarist? It was Mike Campbell. Oh, the Leeden guy. Yeah. Was it just the four of them? Was that 4, 5? But anyway, he put out 2 albums, and then there's like a live one. And I think there might be 2 live ones. But anyway, they're all great. It's what I'm getting around to say. So that Mudcrutch, you'll like it. Tom Petty sings most of the tunes. A lot of covers. A couple originals. Just good stuff. Let me put my glasses on and read. There's only one of you out there. Well, thank you for hanging out. Oh, God, the glass. Here we go with all the pockets. And I cannot find it. The glasses. They feel like they might be gone. Nope, there they are. It's amazing. It's like I have a cooler. And, do you? But anyway, it's not a large cooler. It's a one-man cooler. And sometimes I'll reach in there and I know I'll have like, you know, it might just be like one of those smaller root beers or Cokes or something, but I'll know I'll have one in there, and I'll reach in there for like 15, it feels like 15 minutes, and it's not a big cooler. I'm like I keep pulling one thing after the other, and none of them are the Coke or the root. Have you experienced this? Exactly, my friend. Yeah, I'm probably. I don't know. It's just reading these phones and but reading the books and stuff. I can't really. Even just watching anything, even just a video on YouTube, because it's all on this damn phone. But like I said, I'm 57, so it also could just be natural or a combo. Because I really, since COVID, now we're creeping into 5 or 6 years now of like, this is my main screen, I guess, media device. I got an iPad, which is still not, but that's kind of a pain in the butt a little bit. I live in an RV, so when you're moving around all the time, having with the point you get to where you're just going to be able to sit in front of even an iPad is rare. But occasionally I do. Having a couple hits of herb. Maybe we'll go in and jam. We'll keep the stream running if I can. I don't see why I can't. God, you're able to do it at Disney World other than they don't want you showing the security. But there's so many people doing it there, but it's fun. I like just walking around there. I'm thinking my pass expires on the 1st of April. I might go again this Friday just because it's the last day that the Magic Kingdom's open till 11. And after that, no park is open past like 10 o'clock till my pass expires. Basically all of March. I guess. It seems like a long time, but it's just basically all of March. But I just like walking through the Polynesian, checking out the music. Walking over the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary, walking past the Magic Kingdom. There's just an aura about the Disney World thing that, despite how bad it is, and they've done everything they can to beat it out of me, and they're pretty successful. I don't think I'm going to continue. How many times can you see I love the tiki room, but, and actually they always have that deal. For Florida residents, it's like $260 for a 4-day. And most likely, usually you don't have to use them all in a row or anything. So that's about all I can go. And if I can use that on weekends, because right now my pass is only Monday through Friday. And I work. So I'm not going to take a day off just to go to Disney World, you know. I did actually earlier this year, but that was because the Beach Boys were playing, you know. And that, to me, that is a legitimate reason. It was the Mike Love Beach Boys, but it's still the Beach Boys with Brian Johnston there. So it was good, and it was packed. It was about as crazy as I've ever seen Epcot for anything. But still, the top ever for music was Los Lobos at the Wine and Arts Festival. Like, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. But nothing like hearing Bertha, which they only played in their third set. But at Epcot was just magical for me. That was a good time. That was a good year, whatever year that was. There was several acts. That was the year I think Squeeze played. That was great. That was the only time I've seen them there. Maybe they were there the year before, and I was like, why didn't I go? But anyway, I saw them the second. And Squeeze was when I was in junior high and high school. Black Coffee in Bed's one of my favorite. I love that tune. I was going to say one of my favorites. I love it, you know. Jules Holland. He has a big show still. He has like this musical show. I don't know if it's on one night a week or something, but he has everybody on. He plays tunes with them. He was a pianist in Squeeze for their first couple albums, and he left. But he's a noted boogie woogie pianist, which is a distinct style, it is also the best style. We're thinking Professor Longhair, but he's not the best example because he's a little erratic in the best way. There's other people who are much more who are kick-ass, but they're just playing in more of a form. I hate to limit because they're kicking butt. The moon. Just a nice night, man. A little chilly. I'm all sweatshirted up, you know, here in Florida. Getting to the end of February. It's a little. I'll tell you, this morning at work, whoo boy, was it cold. And I was there, you know, this was first day up here, and I was just outside all day, you know. And I'm on this back where my regular place of work down in Arcadia, we have this brand new rental forklift, but it's enclosed. And you have AC and heat. Oh my God, it was cold. And this one I was on, it's one of those ones with the boom extension. You know, it rides low, but it was open. And I'd like do like something for 5 minutes, and I'd be like, I gotta go sit in the truck. It was that cold. And I'm in Florida. I mean, it was cold. It legitimately was like high 20s. And that's it, man. I mean, I'm in like I said, probably one of the last places in Florida on the north, right above Jacksonville. I do not want to go back to living where you have to like go out and scrape your car ice off it every morning for like months. All right. The one cool thing about where I worked today, though, was there was trains going by all day. And we're talking big time CSX trains. Just all day long, right next to the tracks. And this is a major, you know, we're talking northern Florida, Jacksonville. There's a lot of trains activity in Florida. I love trains. Any good person loves a train. This could be a tough hill to scale. CSX. Look at these trucks, man. Everything on that. That's just in good shape, you know? We walked past that one, the other, where they can put it on the tracks. That was gas tanks open. I don't know what's up with that. Get away. Nothing to do with it. Oh, here we go. Wait, I think I remember where those take. Yes. Oops. Oh, they're stuck together. Oops. Damn. Keep doing that. Doesn't have much resistance there. You expect it to not swing that far. Should have. I didn't, you know. I guess I admitted out of it enough. It's one of those things you do it every time. You're like, I think I got it now, but I'm checking out tomorrow. One is the loneliest number. All right, that's what I do. That dude was seriously rocking. He was rocking. They used to be at Disney World in Morocco at Epcot. That's what the guy. It's rocking. They were good. It was a fusion-y thing, but it was good enough. They used to have a belly dancer in the front. I think they still do have a belly dancer, but it's a different band. It is kind of odd that they got all those countries in Morocco. This is it. 2 days. Nice enough. Holiday Inn Express, can't complain. Although they had a couple motels right down the street from the yard that I would have been happy. You know, the type you can pull up to. That look nice. And a lot of them these days are nice because a lot of people, younger people or even retirees, have taken them over and have, you know, the labor of love. Because it's a nostalgic sort of thing, that sort of hotel. It is, you know. So now we're going to do naked guitar playing. All right, don't knock it till you've seen it. Oh, where's my tuner? Let me see if I have my tuner. Otherwise, it's going to be slightly out of tune. There it is. We're saved. Yay! We're saved. I'll turn the, I'll turn the TV on or something. To get a little light. Give me a moment. There isn't really anything I want to watch. That's the E, that was flat. Everything, the A is flat, but a little less so. So that's when you know you've changed kind of humidity. When they're all like flat, and you'll go up, the E will be way, and then it'll go less and less. See, they're all flat, but that's less. That was less flat than the D was. This is the B. That's one of the two thin strings down the bottom, and they were kind of more flat than, but with the four top ones, it kind of descends. Just something you notice. I mean, obviously there's the thicker the string, the more it goes out of tune, and the humidity change. That is a conclusion I think that can be drawn. Well, they say Santa Fe is less than 90 miles away. I've got time to roll a number and rent a car. too much there. Name of the hotel. Oh, a hotel. Pretty baby was a peachy kind of girl. Her eyes were hazel, her nose was slightly curved. We spent a lonely night in a memory hotel. I guess you know it. Slightly curved, guitar, and she began to play. You're just a memory of a love that used to mean so much to me. Just a memory of a love that used to mean so much to me. She got a mind of her own. She uses well. Yeah. She one of a kind. She got a mind of her own. She uses well. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. That's one of those ones. Yeah, I guess I don't listen to it enough anymore. But also that part there, it's just B flat, C and F. But it's just a roll of the dice. I kept fucking that up. I kept going B flat. I know it's B flat at first. I got that. But C. I kept going. You heard it.